Hello, everyone. Welcome to Website Optimization with me. We're just going to listen to a bit of soft jazz and wait for everyone else to get on here. We'll get started in a few minutes. But if you do have something that you're hoping to learn today, we have a specific question. Probably down in the bottom right there, you can hit questions and type in a question. If you just want to say hello, throw a hello into the chat. Hello to Scott. Hello to Steve. Hello to the Preno team that are helping out today. Hello to the people saying hello in the chat. Cool, I can see some questions already coming through. If you've got a specific question, also jump into the questions tab because Scott and Steve will be collating them as well for me. So I can answer all those at the end, but still good to see what you're hoping to learn today, which is really good. All right, I'm going to take that as my cue. Since there was a nice fade out there, I won't go start a new song. Can't see you. Great. All right. Scott, Steve, you good to go? Do you want to throw a chat in the comment? Let's go. All right. Sort my windows out here. Well, welcome to webinar number 2, Website Optimization with me. I'm really excited to be taking you through this one. It's got a whole lot of new content and some really good examples. And if you don't know much about me, I don't work for Preno, I just work with them. We're really good at working together because we have a very similar goal of helping independent, small boutique accommodations like you to succeed, you know, get more direct bookings, make more money, save time. So today, this is what we're going to cover. And I'm going to begin by thinking about marketing overall, what I call find, attract, convert, and how that feeds into your website. and I can see some comments and some questions already that will help get you in the mindset of what to do on your website. Then I'm going to look at 3 quick wins, 3 things you can do, walk away from this and implement, or at least think about, and then 3 more advanced strategies. And I've got 3 client examples, websites, to talk you through how those work. And at the end, there's one special offer. So myself and Prino teamed up to bring our expertise together to offer a solution if you're looking for a whole new website with expert help. And then we'll roll into some Q&A, which we're trying to leave a bit of time for, because I can see you have questions. So the first thing is this. I'm going to chat on this, and I'm going to jump on my iPad here. So you'll just have to give me a second to jump over and change. Talk amongst yourselves. So I need to close this one and open up another one. Share a screen. Find my iPad. Cool. So hopefully you're looking at a big thing that says 3 Ps. So the 3 Ps is what we start with every client. And I can see, got a couple of clients on here at the moment, so they'll know what I'm talking about. But the 3 Ps are your product offering, your value propositions, and your customer personas. So you probably know your product offering really, really well. Your rooms, your location, your facility. Great, you got that one nailed. But what we really encourage you to think about, and what we do with our clients, is dig into customer personas and value propositions. And this is where you can get a lot more clearer. So there might be people you already have that stay with you, but they may not be your ideal guests. So we ask you to think about who's your ideal future guest, because that's who we want to design for. That's who we want to see reflected in your website. And then there's value propositions. What is unique about you? What is your unfair advantage? What can we really highlight to these people, your customers, that ties in with your product offering? So this is your foundation. These things come together, your 3 Ps, and getting those right helps us with any form of marketing, any form of communications, and actually gives you a lot of focus. So they sit at the heart of everything we do. And then we look at these 3 sides. Find, can people find you? Attract, are you attracting the right guests, your ideal guests? And of course, are you converting them into direct bookings? So find, that's your Google, it's search, it's making sure your Googly, when someone's on an OTA that you're fed up with, I can see that in the comments, they're actually able to find you. So you want to make sure you've got some SEO essentials in there. Or there's other things you can do, like get some AdWords so that people look for you, you're protecting your name. And your Google business listing is super, super important. You want to make sure that is set correctly, particularly so it says that you're a hotel instead of an apartment, for instance, so that you turn up on maps. So it's only if people can find you that you can convert them on your website. Attract, that's usually when we talk about ads, and for us, we do a lot of work on Facebook, and in particular, where we see Facebook working really well is 45 plus females on a mobile. That's where 70% of our traffic comes from, which works really well if you're on the boutique or independent side, because they're the people with time, money, and more likely to stay also during the week. So you want to be attracting the right people and also driving them to your website. And you want to show them your best value propositions, the experience you offer, not just a room. So this is our couple, they're in a hot tub. And if you are ever running ads, you want to send them directly to a page that's relevant to them. You don't want to send couples to families. You don't want to send families to a corporate page. So think about who your ideal customers are all the time. So your website, which is what we're going to focus on today, is your 24/7 salesperson. So as soon as people get there, it's attract. You've got to pull them into your world and go, wow, that looks really great. What is your first impression? If you've seen my other webinar on the Academy, it's all around selling experiences. And don't show, a car park or use a photo from your iPhone. We're talking beautiful shots that establish your location, the experience, the view. And then what's that one-liner that tells your ideal customer a bit more about you, or at least answers the question? If you're in a particular place from Sydney to Edinburgh, and that's what people are looking for, then answer that question, boutique hotel, Edinburgh. And then up here is what we call the value statement. So get across your key value propositions. And I don't mean write an essay. I mean 3 lines and some bullet points to get across why people should stay with you, and aimed, of course, at your customer, your ideal customer. And then you want to split people off. So you might have an exclusive use thing over here. Well, that's not for me. I'm this couple. So then you want to direct them directly to get more information. So when you're asking about what content, what photos, what headings, think about your customers and your value propositions and how to lead them through your website. Because if you can't lead them through your website, they'll never get here. They'll never get to your Preno booking engine and booking with you. So when they get there, hey, we're only talking about couples here, right? So what's that experience you're going to offer that's more than a room? And that can be just trying to get people to stay an extra night, including breakfast, including something, whatever that you can enable that people want. When I say an experience, I don't mean hot air ballooning. I mean something simple and bullet point for people and make it really easy for them to book. And this is particularly important when we talk about people coming from OTAs. They're comparing you probably to 3 other people. They're comparing room rates. How are you going to cater specifically to that customer and give them something they want? You don't have to cater to everyone. Cater to your ideal guest and get them to book. So find, attract, convert. Today, we're going to focus on convert. So I'm going to close this and go back to my presentation. There I am again. You can see all my travels behind me here as I try and get back. Great. So would you like to convert more direct bookings on your website? It's a fairly obvious question. Is that what people want to do? Feel free to use some likes and comments as I go. I'm just a man in an empty room at the moment, so any feedback on the chat is good for me. Of course, you're saying, that's why I'm here. I want more direct bookings on my website. So great. Well, let me ask you this. What's your direct booking strategy? Now, I look at that find, attract, convert. We used to call that the direct booking machine. You get that right, you've got a direct booking strategy. Because I was talking to an employee of an OTA that I won't mention, and they said we had a 0 direct booking strategy, as in they don't want people leaving the platform and going to your website, which makes sense, of course, right? They want those commission fees. They want to keep people in their world. And he went on to say that they knew that they lost 50% of their users to a direct booking, that people were using them more like a search engine. So it's a good barometer for you. Are you getting 50-50, let's say? If you're skewed more towards the OTAs, then there's definitely work to be done on your website. Other research has shown that 67% of OTA users visit your website before booking. So this has been backed up elsewhere. That's a lot of free traffic. So if you think about the OTAs as a search engines that you can take the traffic from, you've got to be better than them. You've got to be better than booking.com. Does that make sense? You want to turn those OTA lookers into direct bookers. All right. So I'm going to talk about the three quick wins to actually make that happen. The first is the best offer. Is it better to buy and book direct with you? It's kind of like a simple question, but I get a lot of different answers. I'm just going to make this screen a bit. I'm sharing the wrong screen here, aren't I? Share this tab instead. Sorry, guys. That's my presenter notes. So the best offer. I had this conversation with a client last week. He came to me, he said he wanted to increase his direct bookings and they don't want to discount. So his rooms are $500 a night. They're 2-bedroom apartments in the central city, beautiful historic building, 1920s. He plays soft jazz as you enter. And I said, okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, we don't have to discount. But I went on to booking.com and I put in my Genius discount, got my mobile discount, and I got it down to $400. Do they not pass that on to you? He's like, no, they do. I don't get $500. I only get the $400. So you are discounting already. No, not on our website. But your customers aren't booking direct, right? Correct. We need to fix that. Then this is it. You need to make sure the best offer is on your website. So I used to talk about price matching, but really you've got to better it. And by better it, I don't mean lower yours. I mean raise the OTA rate. And from what we see, it has to be 10% or $50, about 20 or 30 quid. Because it's got to be mentally enough that someone goes, Well, if I book direct, it's like getting lunch free or a couple of coffees free. Or you sell an experience and you upsell people. But there shouldn't be any reason why you can't do this on your website. Book direct, best rates guaranteed. So that's not to say you're beating a price. It's just saying the best price, even if you price match with the OTAs, if you book direct, you will get the best rates. A lot of the time what I see is, I feel like I need to discount on booking.com. Well, that doesn't even make sense. So fix that. Next is your cancellation policy and your terms and conditions. So like your rate, they've got to be the same or better. You've got to be super clear on your website. Another client, 40-room, small hotel for where they are. I was looking at their analytics. They get a vast amount of traffic, 20,000 people a month through their website. And people, the first 3 pages, fairly typical. Homepage, rooms, facilities. And then it just went bananas. 17 different pages. People going all over the shop. About 9 different pages deep. And I clicked. They were looking for the cancellation policy because I couldn't find it. No one's coming to the other side of the world, to New Zealand, without knowing what the cancellation policy is. So we made that visible and we made it make sense, because quite often I find a cancellation policy or your terms are written like this. You might have written them with a bit of angst. Someone might have come and stay, you had a really bad time, and you wrote some T's and C's like this. Fee here, non-refundable there, we're going to hit you here. And also creating terms that they don't even enforce. I had a client had a 21-day cancellation policy, and they said, but we don't actually enforce it. Well, then don't have it on your website. Frame it so it's friendly and positive, much like booking.com does. 7-day free cancellation policy. Get greater flexibility when you book direct with us. And on your terms, I just seen some questions around OTA rates and contracts. Next week, we'll be talking a bit more about pricing. But if you've ever been challenged, I hear it, but I've never actually seen evidence of someone being challenged on an OTA rate, then you create an experience. You create something different that encourages people to book direct. And that's what we encourage with all our clients anyway. Add value. So always be trying to be better than booking.com. Which comes back to trust. OTAs offer an excellent level of service. Everything is transparent. They know what they're getting. They feel like there's a way out. So if people hit your website from their mobile, which is enormous, if it looks bad, the copy and images aren't up to date, links don't work, they can't figure out their room, they're going to lose confidence in you. You're asking people quite often, if you're on the boutique end, to spend quite a bit of money with you. So if they don't trust you, they're going to leave. So 3 quick wins: pricing, value, trust. No matter how shiny and beautiful your website is, if it costs too much, they're not going to book with you. If you can't give value, they're not going to book with you. If they don't trust you, they're not going to book with you. So, was that helpful? Has everyone nailed those 3 things already? Great. Thank you for all the likes there. Whoop, whoop. Would you like to see some more advanced strategies? More likes. Thank you. I'm going to talk through 3 websites optimized for direct bookings and using 3 client examples. The first is sell an experience, not just rooms. Again, Preno Academy has a whole thing on this, but this is a new take and an example using a website specifically. The next is design for your ideal guest. Think about who they are, design for them. And the third is simplifying the path to purchase. So let's see what those look like. So this is Ian, originally from the UK, came out to New Zealand, had a very successful business here, headed north out of Auckland, found this beautiful spot, Pacific Rendezvous. Loved it so much, he took over the management contract. And when I met him, he was saying, we're underselling ourselves. We need to raise our average daily rate. We need to raise our occupancy up to 80%. And I want to hit 80% direct bookings. So he had a lot of goals, but he had his business hat on. And so we did a strategy session together. Any client I work with, we do the 3 Ps, we do a strategy session, no matter what we're doing. And so we identified his ideal customer as a family with kids. Because if he got them in once, they're likely to repeat. He had excellent facilities for them, and it was more like a resort. It had so much on offer, from swimming to swimming pools, beaches, etc. So this was the website that he had when I met him. Old imagery, no sign of families here. All right, well, let's go check out accommodation. Whoa, there's 6 options. Well, maybe a 2-bedroom. Units 14 to 16, units 1 to 8. This is getting confusing. Maybe I'll just go to booking.com. Yeah, I'm going to have to definitely go to booking.com, because inside the 6 options, now I've got 8 more options. Do you see how he'd picked up this legacy of rooms and not really thinking about the customer and the experience? So let's see what we did. I'm going to jump. Spectacular clifftop resort. Some kids running. Beautiful sunrise. Look at this. Right on the edge of the water, a whole headland. 30 minutes from Friday. That may not mean much to everyone here, but it means a lot to his target audience, because to them, that means they can leave work and be here to be making a barbecue for dinner. Stay, play, and explore. And then it doesn't say accommodation, it says self-contained villas. It doesn't say units anymore. We're not talking about a motel anymore. We're talking about a resort with villas. And I'm a family, so I'll go to family villas. We've still got couples, because that's super important, particularly for midweek. Hit the family picture, large open space. Spaces for everyone to enjoy. Do you see how there's not too much copy here? And then some bullet points. And now I've only got 2 options. I'm a family, right? I'm not going to book a 1-bedroom. The 2-bedroom, well, will it fit 4? It does. It comfortably fits a family of 4. What if I need extra space? Well, yeah, 3-bedroom, space for 6 to 7 people. Do you see how much easier that is? How much nicer it is to sell an experience? And actually see people in the spaces. On the beach, me in the pool with my son. Huge difference, right? Much more experience-led. We're not selling rooms anymore. We're selling an experience. So I call this the meh to marvelous case study because I think they were meh, not very interesting, completely underselling themselves, as you can see. Ian was 100% right. They've had year-on-year growth. They've increased their average daily rate. I was looking back at what he told me today for his premier 3-bedroom room, what he was charging 2 years ago. He charges more than that for a 1-bedroom in the off season. He's completely flipped it. Because he's not an overpriced motel, he's a great value resort. Which means he's able to put money back into the business, keep upgrading it, keep investing in his digital presence. Case study 2. Design for your ideal guest first. So I saw some fed up with OTAs and Airbnb comments. This was Christine. She's based in Amsterdam, but has a beautiful property here for exclusive use. And obviously, Airbnb is a great platform for that. And a great way to think about who your ideal guest is to look at the reviews. And this is pretty common. Perfect place for a family reunion. Rain, hail, or shine, your family will have a lovely time. But as anyone who's been on Airbnb knows, it can be super frustrating to deal with them if something goes wrong, and they take a really hefty commission. So she wanted off the platform. She wanted direct bookings. She had a website. It was on page 8. Searching for her name, page 8. It's now on page 1. So designing for your ideal guest, what does that look like? She's got a lot of rooms, which you can see highlighted there. And again, it's thinking about rooms, right? Not thinking about your ideal guest. And thinking about who's that chief organizer. They're sitting down, probably at night, trying to work this out for their large family group. So let's take a look. Your private waterfront oasis. Great. Private, another word for exclusive use. Waterfront, tick. Beautiful image to pull you right in. You can see large spaces for people right on the water. Not something she had previously. And you can jump into rates. Value statement, perfect place to bring your friends together. Oh, I'm not sharing. Thanks for the heads up, Scott. Okay, that was my bad. So going from thinking about who that is, that chief family organizer, what they're looking for. This is the private waterfront oasis, the great big picture, lol emojis coming at me. The value statement, bringing your friends together, also covering off other things. Luxury escape for up to 18 guests. So getting across really clear who this is for. A lot of people. And again, then when they look at your rates of $2,500 a night, they understand. It's because there's so much space. And then when we look at the accommodation, think about that ideal guest, that chief organizer. They've got a lot of people. So how about you give them an overview of what that looks like? Here's all the bedrooms, bathrooms, facilities. Master Queen with ensuite. Well, that's my room. Tick. Great. That's my sister and her husband, my kids, their kids, grandparents. Thinking about that person, how they want to mentally assign rooms. So you might not be an exclusive use property, but think about what are those things that your user, comparing you to 3 other places at 10 o'clock at night, is trying to figure out, because you want to design for them. What do they want to see? What are the questions you get asked a lot? What are the emails or the phone calls that you get? Answer those here. Take away those blockers. So I'm really hoping you saw the Pacific Rendezvous version. Did the Pacific Rendezvous one work? Waiting. Didn't see the first website. Oh no, I'm so sorry, guys. Even the best of us can have these technical fails. So I'll talk through it really quickly, right? They were motel focused and we flipped to resort focused. We sold the experience of staying there, which is this one. So much different, drawing people in. There's facilities, it's for a big family, there's a pool. So investing in content, I've seen those questions, highly recommend it, because then you can show off the experience that you offer for years and years to come. And when I was talking about stay, play, and explore, it was showing also what surrounds you, because chances are you're located somewhere for a reason. And then split people off: family, villas, couples, corporates. So I was saying the families, show them the big space. Instead of 6 rooms, we cut it down to 2. That fits a family of 4, we need extra space. We're making it super clear what the experience is, what they're going to get. Okay. Sorry for missing that one earlier, guys. Got it? Got it. Share this tab. Whew. So, kind of bumping backwards and forwards here, but when we look at the designing for your ideal guest, you're thinking about the direct bookers. We're turning those lookers into direct bookers. And we want to increase the amount of ideal customers coming to you. So if you can show them the experience you offer and then make it, design it for them, much easier. The third, simplify the path to purchase. So Danielle is General Manager of Kapiti Island Nature Tours. Her family have a long history with this island. They own half of it. The Department of Conservation owns the other. In New Zealand, we call it a predator-free zone. So no pests, no rats, no mice, no possums. So the wildlife flourishes. But similar, when she came back into the family business after working in corporate, we're really kind of underselling ourselves here. And when we sat down, she talked about all the different types of people, all the different customer personas that they attract. And everything from the empty nesters, couples, bird lovers, glampers, families. So we really had to think about, that path to purchase, because she had seven current offerings that were quite confusing. And in fact, we've kept these offerings. We've just renamed them. Because again, if you're thinking about that path to purchase and your customer Kapiti ferry only rangatira, Kapiti Wairua half-day trip. I don't mean anything to me. Don't mean anything to you either, right? It takes too much time to go figure out the difference. So we looked at those 3 key offerings, those 3 key pages. And he said, well, actually, it comes down to experience. Either you want self-guided, catch the ferry and explore yourself. See how I'm not just saying ferry only, because that sounds really boring. Self-guided tour, guided tour, their hero product, or an overnight experience. So direct people through those 3. So this is the current website. I'm going to show you the new one that we're building. So the current one, no copy up here. Lots of tours and activities under here. Nature tours and accommodation. Okay, they do tours and accommodation. But do you see a wall of text? And that's it. There's actually not much there. So we went and rethought, what is that landing page experience when people get there? How do we draw them in? And how do we simplify that path? So this is in preview mode. Explore Kapiti Island. And that's what everyone's doing, regardless of whether it's a tour or staying overnight, they're coming to explore. So book a guided tour, that's there because that's their hero product. That's where they shift the volume and make the money. So even when we talk about customers and what they want, obviously you want to attract their customers for your hero, your core offering, because that's where your volume is and your margins are. Visit for the day or stay the night. Pretty simple. 2 choices, guided tours or overnight. Stay your way. Okay, so when I stay overnight, I have these 3 choices. Well, glamping would be quite fun. Let's do glamping. It's the most popular with couples. It even says so. Your stay on Kapiti. A once-in-a-lifetime stay. Overnight experience package includes. So this is what I mean by packaging that up. Quite often I find people do a lot of things and they forget to tell people on their website. I'm working with someone else at the moment, and she said, oh, well, if you book direct, you get free champagne and canapes on arrival. Doesn't actually say that on your website. There's surprise and delight, but there's also missing out on bookings. So people are still going to be delighted when they get there, but tell them what they're going to get. They're going to get the chef prepared buffet lunch, the evening drinks, and the hot breakfast. Make it clear, because you're speeding up that path to purchase, right? Book. So you can see how I didn't take you through like 7 products there. It's more like I just went with the experience that applied to me. So you probably have your own path that you would have taken here. Results launching soon. But what did you think? Can you see the path that you would take? Do you see how much easier that is than trying to sort different experiences, different rooms? I've seen people try to sell 21 different individual rooms before. I mean, it's crazy. So think about how you can simplify your products based on your customers and the experience that they want. in summary, your website should be guest optimized. Simplify your products, highlight your value propositions, and create a beautiful website that obviously has a good price and is trustworthy. Was that helpful? This is the man in the room by himself. Great. Was there anything your favorite there? Got some people typing. Let me know, because I'll bear it in mind as I keep going. But wait, there's more. Do you need help? It can be really hard to do this inside your own business. So whether it's me or anyone else, getting some outside perspective really helps. And that one special offer that I talked about is this. So I'm going to talk about this briefly before we roll into Q&A. But Prino, myself, and Rocket Spark, who you saw that website built in, Kapiti Island and Morning Tide, we think we can do a better job. We think we can combine our expertise, build beautiful hotel websites in 30 days at a really good pay monthly price. So I'm going to jump to my own website. So maybe Steve, you can throw that in the chat for people. So beautiful hotel websites. What I've talked about a lot is, making something that's purpose-built for a small hotel and boutique stay. Something with wow factor, something that is actually designed for direct bookings, where we handle all the techie stuff as well. My wife is the one that writes the copy. She was the travel writer. We've traveled to 50 countries together. We're really good at this. We help you get it live, get it connected. And we've got 3 themes: delight, evoke, and aspire. So delight is what Morning Tide is based on, refreshing and relaxed. Evoke is a bit more atmospheric and inviting, more uses of block color. And then aspire, just a bit more refined, a bit more luxury property. Pull that in. And it's all set up as a pay monthly deal. So you can head to my website and check that out. Register your interest, email me, or even book a phone call with me. And now I'm going to stop talking about that. Except to say, we're only going to take 5 people at this price this month, because you'll be our case studies, much like the case studies I've shown you already. Love to see you join. All right. We've had a look. Q&A. So in the background, Scott and Steve have been collating questions, which I'm going to jump to, because they had some that came out. Cool. So one question there on metrics and analytics. It's a big question, but basically you want to see that people are actually coming to your website and converting. There's a lot of different metrics, from 1% to 10% of what people think good is. And that it depends how good the traffic coming into your website is. So a lot of people will create AdWords and get a lot of traffic there, and then they'll see low quality score from Google. That's because they sent the wrong ads to the wrong people. So people got there, they're expecting something, and they left because it wasn't what they were looking for. So you've always got to think about your ideal customer, because even if that means less traffic, but higher ratio of bookings, that's what you want. Attracting more people to your website, that's where ads come in. And also looking at customers you've already engaged with. So, I mean, how many people do regular emails and capture those and respond, not respond, but put them out and tell people how you are. And another question that kind of follows on there is, how often should you update your website? Yeah, sure, you should update it. And it should be a website that is easy to update. Cancel out of here. So people get websites that are actually hard for them or people that work for them to update. So you want it to be really, really easy to go in and put a seasonal promotion. You want it to be easy to change your pricing. What people tend to do is they go OTA website, because I'm still trying to find a good price, or actually I'm not sure if these guys are, go to your Facebook or your Instagram. So at the bare minimum, put up one post a month on social, so just know you're open. That can be as simple as sunrises, sunsets, the beautiful breakfast, some happy guests, the view from the window. It is not showing your cleans at work. A lot of people do this. It comes as a suggestion time and time again. I don't book you because of your cleaners. I book you because of your views. I book you because of the experiences you offer. So think about the experiences you offer. Another good one is to reshare reviews. So make sure that you're collecting reviews and using email automation to get them. I've got one customer, we get a review every single day, whether that person booked on an OTA or not. But it means they have literally thousands of Google reviews now. I've seen Malik talk about sharing your reviews around. That's true. I tend to favor Google now because people just searching via maps and are trying to find you coming from an OTA, that having a lot of good reviews on Google helps. TripAdvisor, very good in Europe. The Europeans much more likely to have a TripAdvisor account and actually use it. So if you've got Europeans or staying with you, then yes, get TripAdvisor from them. I'm going to jump into some other questions here. Here we go. Should we invest in mobile friendly? Absolutely suggest invest in mobile. I have a client, they get about 4,000 people to their website a month. The people that come on desktop are in the low hundreds. So thousands coming on desktop. So I often see people might have a really shiny, beautiful desktop website, but in fact, it's terrible at mobile. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So on a good platform like Rocket Spark, a couple of others do this, is you can toggle between what it looks like on desktop and mobile. You know, is it legible? Is it easy to click? is it easy to navigate? You know, quite often people have a huge cluster of stuff that just doesn't work. So absolutely think about mobile and how easy it is to navigate on mobile. In design speak, people design for mobile first. And people have been saying it for 10 years, but you've really, really got to think about it. Questions? Just a question about the website package. Yes, so there is a commitment, which is 36 months. Or there's other options as well. If you'd just like to own it outright from the beginning or pay it off quicker, then it's even cheaper. But we've designed it at that price point so it's accessible, that people can get a new website and get started. I think, is that about it? Oh, I had another question here. Most common design mistakes. I think it's just not thinking about your customer. Should we invest in professional photography? Hopefully we've shown that you should. So a lot of people get squirmish about spending money on photographers, but the payoff is massive in terms of an experience. A tip for getting content is you don't want someone that doesn't understand commercial photography and is really, really cheap and they're a friend of the neighbor. At the same time, a commercial photographer, they'll say, it's this amount of money for this amount of shots. You want to find someone in the middle. Preferably someone that can come stay a day or two, bring their partner, bring their family, turn it into a holiday, because you sunsets, sunrises, you want to capture different elements. But you should have a dedicated shoot time, a half-day shoot of around 4 hours, and you shoot your photography and your video, and you choose 3 hero scenes. What are the 3 experiences of staying with you? Is it sunset drinks on veranda? Is it walking through the grounds? Is it standing and looking out over the view? What are the experiences? And sometimes that includes using something locally. So if you're in a place for a particular reason, then don't forget to show that. If people come for the mountains, show mountains. I had someone show a hot tub all nestled away, but entire property nestled hundreds and hundreds of acres with lakes and mountains. Include the lakes and mountains. All right, well, I think that's time. And thank you everyone for tuning in. You can throw me a last goodbye. I really enjoyed pulling this together. Really enjoyed having to think about it myself. So I'm glad you could all make it. Tune in next week for pricing, where Menelik can tell you how to navigate the OTAs and how to set your rates, because you definitely need to do that. Great. Thanks, guys.